Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Pivotal Podspective. This is a show where we get extraordinaires from all over the globe to come and chat to us. Let us in on the tips, tricks and ways that they're doing, the pivotal things that they're doing so they can help you level up and maybe adopt, adapt and improve what you're doing personally and professionally. I'm your host, Elliot Brown, here with my co-host,
Adrian Derwansu.
And joining us from the Gold Coast in not so sunny Australia today, apparently it's raining, is our award-winning Facebook strategist, guest extraordinaire, Chantal Gerardy.
Good morning.
How are you?
Morning.
Amazing, thank you. Is it morning there?
It's not. It's evening time, but the crowd have got something to...
Yeah.
We missed them out. They'll get the and it is hump day, so that works. But no, it's 9 o'clock in the evening here. What time is it there?
6 a.m.
Oh, that's an early start for you, isn't it? And is that a brick backdrop there that's got creases in it, or is this what you use for
No.
You've got?
This is because it's a green screen, but StreamYard doesn't use the green screen, so I've always got to hook up a wall quickly.
Ah, I see. Well, it works. It works.
Actually, we've seen someone using green screen on a StreamYard, if I remember correctly.
They did, but it didn't work very well, did it? I think you have to sort of set something up in there. I'm not quite sure how that worked, but yeah, it didn't work very well. But anyway, Chantal, it is Gerardy. Is that right? Is that the right way of saying it?
Gerardy.
Okay.
Gerardy.
And Gold Coast in Australia. You did mention the name. Whereabouts is it?
It's in Burleigh.
And it's raining there today, you said?
Yes, it is raining today. Everyone will know Gold Coast Burleigh for its surf. So
Right. So you're making the most of a bit of rain.
Yeah, definitely.
Same like everyone will know UK for its rain, I suppose, probably.
Yeah.
We normally know the Gold Coast for the sunshine, so the heat.
Yeah.
So.
We've had our sunshine for the year, I think, already. We had an early summer, and it's not looking so good at the moment. But hey,
exactly. I think we had about a week, so 1 week per year. That should be fine. Yeah.
Pretty standard shit for here, to be fair. So you're a Facebook strategist. Tell us a little bit about what you do, how long you've been doing it, etc., Chantal.
Yeah, sure. Well, I actually fell into Facebook. I'm actually originally from South Africa. So 11 years ago, I immigrated from South Africa to the Gold Coast. And I had 3 kids under the age of 5 years. My husband at the time was here on a job transfer, and he actually was made redundant twice in the first couple of years.
Okay.
So I was originally going to stay at home, look after the children. And but instead, after he was made redundant, I basically taught myself Facebook and grew my first business in a saturated industry here on the Gold Coast.
Right. Okay.
So after about six years of using it myself in my business and growing my business, I eventually started having everyone else ask me, how the hell did I do it?
Right.
And how did I do it when I had no marketing budget and I had no startup capital? And I'm not a techie person. So I did things backwards. I kind of fell into it and then decided that I was now going to transition or pivot into this new industry of helping business owners who don't have a marketing budget be able to invest in themselves and their ability to use Facebook successfully in their businesses.
So does that answer your question, Adrian? Because before we started recording, Adrian was sort of going to question about that sort of, is it not better that the owner of the business concentrates on the business and puts that over to somebody? But I think you answered that in saying that people don't have a budget and are running things bootstrap, or in essence micro businesses, I suppose. So I
suppose at different steps in their business, or when they're going to be at a higher level, then obviously they're going to have to hire a marketing team or someone to actually manage their marketing. But at the beginning, it is a bit difficult.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of business owners just simply don't have the marketing. They just don't have the marketing budget to do it, and they just don't have the know-how. So I also believe that the business owner should be involved in coming up with that strategy. So many times they'll hand it over to an agency who doesn't really have the true essence of the business.
Yeah.
So I believe the business owner should work with them, come up with a strategy, at least know what's going on in their business, who their ideal client is, what their offers are, and then work with an agency when they can afford to. But many of the businesses I work with simply just do not have the budget to do that. And they have to find a time-effective and cost-effective way to be able to do it themselves. And many of them then get their wives or girlfriends, so I say the wags of Facebook, their wives and girlfriends, and say, you handle the social media, or they might get their daughters. And many already have maybe an administrator in place who's been given the role now to do social media, but they may not have the training to actually do that. So this is where I come in and actually train them on how to simply include it as part of their ongoing strategy.
I mean, I like the fact that you do that. I mean, you're working with micro businesses that are obviously going to be scaling up, and most entrepreneurs, want to scale up, don't they? So of course, teaching them that at this stage, in an early stage, is quite good, because at least then when they do hand it over to somebody, as you're saying, as they do grow and scale up, that they've got a good idea. So then they would sit down and have a meeting with somebody that is going to take that over, whether it be staff, whether it be another firm. They've got a better idea. And you're absolutely right. I mean, Adrian and I, time and time again, we have conversations about potential clients, things like that, or people that we know that are in similar situations. They've got no idea about a strategy. In fact, they can't even see the strategy. They've got their product, they've got their service, they've got whatever they want to put out there, but no strategy at all. In fact, they even get lost in their own sort of posts, their own social media presence, etc., in doing it wrong. We've experienced this recently with somebody, and they have changed it, but you've got to ask questions. So getting to that point, you clearly want to get to know the business owner, the entrepreneur, micro business, whoever it is, and get to know them on a granular level, so you can work out exactly what their strategy is to suit them, their personality, and their business and product. Is that how you approach it to start off?
Yeah, 100%. I actually love what you said, because a lot of people don't take that into consideration, but the business owner has to enjoy doing it. So, we've got introverts, we've got extroverts, we've got some that want to have a public profile, others that may wish to have a private profile. Yeah. So for me, it's about it's about working with the business owner and getting them into flow with something that they're actually going to enjoy doing. Or if it's their team, that they're actually going to enjoy or be capable or be confident and capable in doing it. Yeah. From there, I then look at how they can differentiate themselves in the market. So have a look at who else is in the industry. Like if it's location based, look at their competitors, see what everyone else is doing, and then don't copy them or go up against them, but more look at how we can bring to the forefront their points of difference and differentiate themselves in the market. And then we come up with key messages, things that they can say on a consistent basis, so they can build their online brand and presence. Yeah. And then also I explain what the algorithm is, and I teach them about the algorithm, because with social media, there's a lot that you can do organically without paying for ads. So I always say that unless you're actually generating clients for free first, you shouldn't even be looking at advertising, because you don't have the foundations put in place. Yeah,
you'd agree with that totally, wouldn't you, Adrian, on that side?
I haven't tried that strategy though, so I'm really looking into that, to be honest. But yeah, I go from a different side, and I don't obviously ask people to put £1,000 into ad spending, just before anything. And I have a very thorough strategy I go through clients, and I ask them loads of questions that, most of the time they can answer those questions because they don't have any answer to that. And it's all about their business usually, and sometimes I even ask them, so why did you start it? How your business started? Why you're doing it? Just because I need to get an idea of that. But in terms of I've done a few organic things like giveaways and stuff like that, and they were very successful. But I'm definitely looking to learn more about that.
Yeah, so let's talk about that side, because that intrigues me. What works well? What is it that you would? I know. This is a generalism, okay? I know, because you're going to go, well, I need to know more about the business. But just for the purpose of the conversation.
So you want to do an exercise again, Elliot? We're your customers, exactly.
Yeah, so to do that, so if we were your clients and we've got, let's say Essex Business Radio, okay? And
that's a bit more difficult. Let's say. So what type of clients do you usually work with?
Okay, let's go down that path.
Oh, look, I work with all industries. Product based is a little bit harder, because they do end up having to go with advertising. If you have a product and you have a shop you have to. You have to be able to, spend money on ads. However, with service-based industries, it's a lot easier because people can differentiate themselves quite easily. But yeah, 100%, you've got to get to know who the clients are, how comfortable they are being public. And then you've got to be able to leverage what it is that they already have. So I always say it's like throwing a stone in a river. It starts with the stone here and then ripple outwards. But often what happens on social media is people, they just want to try and catch everyone on the far outside, whereas they don't start here from the already know, like, and trust, leverage that, and then grow out from that. So we talk about being able to get more customers, about being able to do collaborations, just like we're doing right now is a collaboration. And, you've asked me to go and sign a form that says that I'm going to, promote you when I'm done. So it's a win-win situation, and that's how we reach a wider audience. So, being able to form the right collaborations online. And then also understanding you don't have to use the full capabilities of Facebook. You only have to do the things that are relevant to your strategy. And this is where a lot of people go wrong, where they have 1,000 public groups and 1,000 private groups and 10,000 pages and, maybe even multiple personal profiles, but they don't need to have all of that. And they're sending people everywhere. And they don't need to be doing that. They just need to actually sometimes stop everything and just start with the end in mind and work backwards with one income producing funnel that works.
Interesting. So you're mentioning funnels there. Is that where you're going to direct people with doing sort of organic posts? Is that am I getting that wrong?
Well, people are a bit scared sometimes when they hear the F word, funnel. But the reality is it's more just the customer journey. So from, if you have a stranger, what is the customer journey from warming up that person and turning them into a raving fan to then evoke enough curiosity that they then move to the next stage of making an inquiry. And then from making that inquiry, what is the next stage that, are they going to book a call, or they're just going to go straight to your website and buy? Or, so what is that customer journey? And a lot of business owners have no freaking idea. They've got no idea what that is. They don't know what that content is that they need to, put out to talk to those people. And they don't know who those people are.
They don't think about the outcome or how to actually make the potential customer to have an outcome from that. And I think when you said, Elliot, they are scared, or sorry, Chantal, when you said they are scared about the effort, is because they're probably thinking about ClickFunnels and stuff like that. But no, they don't think as to the funnel as a general thing, which applies into even a brick and mortar store. Exactly. So even if you have like a standard, shop, and you're selling just candies over there, you still need to have a funnel even in that shop, the way how things are displayed, what customer sees first time when he gets there, and what do you actually make the customer to buy in the end. And that's still a funnel.
Yeah, it is. I mean, shops are laid out like that. Websites, in essence, are laid out like that, aren't they? Your purchasing process is laid out like that, so it sort of gets you into a point where you buy, and then they might add something on. Amazon, a perfect example. But even doing posts as well. I mean, it's fun. It's a funnel in a way, isn't it? Because you're here attracting them with some free information or just some awareness, and then you want to get engagement, and then you're sort of bringing them in, and all of that can be done organically with posts. In essence, that's exactly what we've done for the format that we use for this show. We get into a group, we have a conversation, we put that out through a few different things, let a few people know, and they come in and they come into the chat bot, and that in essence is a funnel. We're not selling anything, but it's an ability to have a chat with somebody that we don't already know. We get to know them, and you put it out on your channels, we put it out on ours, so it becomes something that potentially might make you money, may find you another client. So again, that's another funnel, isn't it? I think just wanted to explain that a process that we use that isn't always about selling, it's about attracting people into your funnel, so that at some stage, something that they may want, so at some stage they may come to us and go, we actually want to advertise with you. You've been going a year. And so you are still funneling people into a position, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. So you spoke there about visibility. So visibility needs to be part, obviously, of your strategy. So, and that's usually done by creating cheerleaders online and by forming, doing collaborations. But a lot of people focus on the visibility side, and they just keep going and getting more visibility. At some point, you need to ask people and take them to the next step and say, And now do you want to work with me? This is what I offer. And the other problem that we find is that when people are going and they, doing all these joint collaborations, they just love it so much. And I'm not saying you guys, I'm just saying this is generally what happens. They love it so much and they're sharing and doing collaborations. But then when you actually say to the person, how do you make money? And they go, well, I don't. They're just focusing on being visible the whole time. And their audience doesn't actually know what they do. So, for example, a lot of group administrators, people who've got these wonderful Facebook groups that have got heaps of engagement and they've got thousands of people inside there. The person running it is spending a lot of time and a lot of, energy nurturing and growing that audience. And then when you look at the administrator and you say, well, what do you do? I don't even know what you do. And I don't even know what it is that you're offering.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I didn't even realize that. I just presumed everybody knew that.
Yeah.
And I just presumed that they'd work with me when they're ready. And I go, well, I've got no idea who you are, what you do. And it's because they haven't positioned themselves. They haven't had this overall strategy of it's not just visibility. It also has to result in money.
Yeah. And it's not an overnight thing either, is it? If just to get the awareness to start off with in what is a noisy environment, social media is a noisy environment, and there's plenty of people doing whatever it is that you do. We're never unique in this, and we don't want to be. But different. And you mentioned the word earlier on, and Adrian knows how I love finding out people's differentiator. That is absolutely key. And so if you've got that, and then you get some awareness, working on that, what sort of time scale do you tend to sort of let your clients know that you're going to start getting, okay, you've done some awareness for a month or 2 months, because it doesn't happen just like that. How do you sort of approach that subject? Because people generally want to have results like
yesterday. Yes, I do. No, so look, it is different for each industry, but it really does depend on what they've been doing up until this point. I have some people that have already been online, already have an audience, but they just haven't actually been directing. Yeah, they've never actually directed anybody to their offer. Many don't have an offer, so I actually help them come up with an offer that somebody will actually pay money for.
For sure.
Because that's a huge, big thing as well. So
usually it's a low-end offer at the beginning, or how do you do?
Well, I do things a little bit differently, because I actually I just go straight for the big one, because what I find is that if you're working especially with small to medium-sized businesses, what ends up happening is that they don't like selling. So if for example, it's a coach, like a business coach, they don't really like selling. So if they're going to try and sell or spruik little offers, and then they're going to try and sell somebody into a big one, sometimes that funnel can be too big. They might have to have too many systems in place. Some, my premium clients may be in a position to do that, but my sort of small to entry level clients are not in a position to do that. So we just position them exceptionally well. And we had a coaching client who got her first client after, I think, 10 weeks of working with me. She had no offer, didn't know what she actually sold or who she was. Right. And she got her first client, which was $3,200, which she got after 10 weeks, organically unpaid through Facebook. Through the strategy. We've had another lady who got, in 8 weeks, she got 6 new clients. They were all $1,000. So, I do things a little bit differently. So
I like that.
It's just how we do it. So I actually focus on the thing that they actually want to be known for and want to sell, this desirable offer, their program that they want to do. We do create other ways to catch people along the way, like running challenges, so little challenges, and yes, having the opt-ins, but most of them don't have the email retargeting and all that other, systems in place or click funnels to be able to do that. And nor do they want to do it. So most of them will just book the discovery call, have a discovery call, which we take them through the process of that, and then just convert that person into a client.
Okay. So I mean, I class it as a client acquisition ladder. So you've got those sort of freebies, those bits of information, even the posts that you're doing on social. You still have those different layers. So you're grabbing attention, and for somebody that may not be ready for another 6 months for that client service, so to speak. But what you're doing is you're concentrating. You're almost doing it the other way around to a lot of the, let's say, business coaches that are out there that show people what they need to do to get people into that purchasing sort of process. You'd actually go slightly the other way around. You're grabbing attention here while you're focusing on that. I quite like that. That probably suits the way I work better than the other way? Because setting all these different layers up isn't an easy thing to do, is it?
Yeah, not only that, but what I think is that it's like kind of like you teasing everyone. And I know they say give out heaps of value. And yes, on social media, yes, you should give out value. But we have to be careful that we don't give out too much value, and also that we don't tell them the how, but we rather tell them the what. Because when we start giving it away for free, well, guess what? You become like a prostitute. So no one's actually like going to pay you, like, and no one's going to respect you or give you the big dollars. So, and unfortunately, with so much free stuff out on social media,
you don't know how good a prostitute I might be.
So the thing is that, you know, people are going to download everything for free. And what we're going to end up catching is we're going to catch people that want things for free. We're not going to catch the $1,000 clients, the ones that are actually wanting to invest money on you. So, you know, you just tell people, this is how much it is. This is what I do. This is my credibility down here. So there's a couple of things I talk about including in your Facebook content. In order to get a yes from your customers, you have to tell your story.
Yeah.
Okay, because your story gives you your why and your passion. You also have to share your backstory, your business backstory, because people build a connection to that.
Yeah.
And then the third thing as well is that you have to show your points of difference. So what is your unique selling point? What is your unique value proposition? So that desirable offer that you have. And we don't just talk about the service or the offer, but we talk about what's in it for them. Okay. So we just say, you know, that this offer will help you with. So it is customer focused, it is solution focused, customers focused, solution focused, and problem focused. And that's basically what we do. So when you're putting out, and obviously show your expertise by sharing some of the content that you have, but also credibility. So if you do have any qualifications or years experience or people that you've worked with, and then social proof. You also need to share social proof. So people don't just want to hear about you the whole time and what you say about you. They want to see success stories. They want to hear what other people are saying about you as well. So when you provide content that covers all those areas, then you subliminally getting a yes from all those people. They're going, yep, I can see other people like them. Yes, they're showing their expertise. Oh, their story. I can resonate with that story. It gives them credibility. And when they go through all of that, then they go, oh, pick up the phone or else make an inquiry, you know, jump onto a landing page and make that inquiry. And then it's up to you to close them. And that's something that I help them with as well, because that process can be really scary and challenging for anyone.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if you have warmed them up and nurtured them along the way, by the time they actually get to that call, it's so much easier, because if you've handled their objections already, you're going to get a yes. The chances are they already know what you do, how you are. They've already built that relationship with you. It's just picking up the phone and taking their money.
Do you find that that habits have changed slightly with regards to what you're saying and how you put yourself across, and maybe not concentrating so much on that low level, the free stuff, and the very low value? Do you think that habits have changed in the last 6 months due to what's been going on, and probably a lot more people focused on getting stuff out on social, and it being probably even a noisier marketplace than it ever was before? Has that changed? Do you think, from your point of view?
Well, during COVID, Facebook use went up by 70%.
Exactly.
So you know what I said is that the pro is that there's more of your customers on Facebook. The con is that there's more of your competitors on Facebook trying to sell their wares. I mean, I think I saw about 8 new Facebook coaches suddenly spruik up, you know, from other industries. They're now rebranded and became Facebook coaches.
Listen. If you go on a course these days and you have some motivational coach that's there to with these courses and things, everybody suddenly wants to become a coach, don't they? I mean, the whole world is full of bloody coaches these days, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I actually had one of my clients who owns a massage business, and she contacted me and she said now she's going to be a Facebook coach during COVID. So I was like, really? Massage to Facebook? Maybe that's her point of difference.
Well,
maybe
I suppose when things get fucked up, she can give customers a massage. So I suppose that's why it's, with us, because I don't really know what else to do. I just probably we have this slight disadvantage over here because I'm not going to give them any good massage. But yeah,
I don't even like massages. Do you like a massage, Chantal?
Yeah, just. So with COVID, so Facebook use was up by 70%. There's a lot of people giving away value. I've stayed true to what I've done in the last 5 years. So I've been focusing on this business for 5 years now. Yeah. And I've stayed true to not doing that, because doing all this other stuff. I kind of say it's like foreplay down here all the time, but it never amounts to happy endings.
Yeah.
And it just makes it really hard.
And to be honest, if you're going to do foreplay, you want a happy ending, don't you?
No, definitely. So I just go straight for the happy ending. But and this is it. And I also, I talk about it like it being dating as well. So if you're going out and you just, prancing everything around social media the whole time, but you just, it's like walking past the bakery and checking out a hot person every single day, but never walking in and actually saying, hey, listen, let's go on a date. What's the next step? So I've always stayed true to going in and actually getting that. And mostly it's because like you need to get paid for what you do. And all these people that are selling these low price offers down here, none of them are really making lots of money. Or else maybe, if they go into Facebook ads, that's a different story, and ClickFunnels. But, it's not as easy as everyone says. And that's a very technological kind of thing to do. I know I don't like it. It is. It's very IT based. That's a whole new thing, So for my clients, if they want to move on to that level, that's fine. I'll pass them on. But they have a strategy. In fact, many Facebook ads companies or digital marketing companies actually send their clients to me and say, could you please get them ready for Facebook ads? Because they've come to me, they've got no offer, they have no idea who their ideal client is, they've got no content on their page hasn't been set up properly, they've got the wrong audience on there, or they've bought their audience. Can you come in, teach the business owner, clean it all up, and then hand them back to us now when they've actually got something for us to actually work with?
Yeah. So you become the facilitator in essence, I suppose, to get them to a point where they work. Listen, it resonates very, very well with us, because there's so much you have to educate people, which a lot of people don't. And I love the way you come across, Chantal. It's quite refreshing, because there's a lot of people that do what you do, and they don't want people to understand it too much. In fact, they want to keep them in a place where they're constantly chomping at the bit to understand more, and they're never really getting there. You must find that with the competition, so to speak. Do you?
Yeah. Look,
Look,
I absolutely love educating it, and possibly because I had to use Facebook to save my business, so I was in that position. So I love motivating and inspiring other people and giving them ways to be able to do it. But at the end of the day, I think social media is social. And that means business owners actually have to have some level of involvement in their social media. So even if they do hand it over to agencies, the business owner is still going to have to pop in from time to time to have those selfies, to have the how are you, to do the Facebook lives. And that is all going to support the bigger plan marketing strategy. It's going to do that. Whereas if you hand it over to the agency and there's no face behind the business owner and they're not popping in, it's just, they're not going to get a return on their investment, and it's going to be so much harder long term. The good news is that when business owners do work with me, I think at the moment, out of the 57 that I'm working with at the moment, only 2 of them are doing paid advertising, and they're both product-based businesses. The rest are actually generating clients for free, and they're happy with that. So they don't need to, the next level would be to go and build an email retargeting system. So, I take them through phases. So now that they're actually getting clients in, that's great. Well, let's get some emails in there so that you can have a client management system in there and you can retarget through your emails. So that's the next step. Or maybe beef up your website a little bit, or have more sort of opt-ins, and maybe move to then another funnel or strategy. But a lot of them don't end up going onto Facebook ads because they're actually getting clients organically.
Yeah, listen, there's quite a few people that mention that it can be done organically. I think there's a place for paid, and it all depends on the service, depends what you want to get back from it, and the value it means. If you're going to get a return, or ROI, as everybody says, return on the investment of putting it in there, then you need to understand what it is you want to get from those paid ads, don't you? We've just got a couple of people that have just sent a couple of messages. We've got Sol Maria. Hi, Sol Maria.
Hello, Sol Maria.
Say hello. And Mike Allison said, "Hi guys, hey guys, hey guys! I didn't know this was an X-rated show. We cover all subjects on this show, Mike. But thanks for the comment. So." We're talking about, sort of all the free stuff that you're doing. I mean, you've obviously got a cost to your service, so that outweighs having to do that, and you're gaining them some knowledge in an area that is organic and getting results from that. it's difficult getting organic reach, though, isn't it? It's difficult getting the results from that. What's your magic touch? What is it that you do to get to make that work? You must look at it from different angles. I mean, talk to us about that.
Well, most business owners come to me and they're completely stressed and overwhelmed, and they're frustrated with the fact that they've been doing it and spitting all over Facebook and getting nothing.
Yeah.
So it's quite easy when I come along with my, motivating smile and my hands that fly around. And I just say to them, well, if you can invest in yourself and your ability to do it, it's a one-time investment in yourself. And once you invest in yourself to have the full understanding of using this platform, which, let's be honest, in your business, if you're going to use stuff, and if that stuff is going to be the sole thing that's going to be bringing in your customers, you have to get to know it.
Yeah,
and you've got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, once I explain that to them, they go, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then when I say I'm going to hold their hands and I'm going to give them accountability, and they're going to work with me over 8 weeks to 5 months is usually the span of my programs, depending on which level you come in. Then they go, it's a no-brainer, because like I said, the return on investment, but 1 client, 2 clients, depending on obviously what you're selling, can straight away cover the cost of your ongoing ability to be able to do it.
So clarity first. Got to be one of the things. So the business owner is pretty damn clear on what he wants to do, she wants to do, they want to do, but also clarity on their offering as well, I'm assuming, and their messaging, right? Something that is always the first tick boxes when you're getting to know a client. And then do you tend to try and bring their personality into it, as you said, so doing videos and things like that? And is this where the engagement happens? I mean, obviously we get engagement doing this show, and it's growing. And in essence, this is just doing a Facebook Live, isn't it? We've just gone across multiple platforms, and we go on YouTube and turn it into it started as podcast, but it's an audio video podcast. Do you work on those things as well to help people get them onto podcasts and talk about themselves on there?
Yeah, look, well, firstly, they've got to know what they're going to talk about. So I help them come to terms with what their story is. So, what is their story? Again, what is their actual offer and the problem it solves for who? Because else throwing them into the lion's den would just be redonkulous. And then on top of it, you've got, not everyone is the same. So some people may not like podcasts. And to tell you the truth, podcasts are now visual as well.
Yes.
So some people are quite... don't like that. So some people prefer writing. So I'd rather get them blog, guest writing.
Whatever the medium that's
whatever the medium is
for them,
for them that they are comfortable in, because else they're not going to do it. And then, you spoke about lives and video marketing. Some customers are not ready to do that just yet. I spoke to a lady who owns a printing company the other day, and she's not ready to do Facebook Lives or video marketing. And I said to her, just take a video of the printers running through the prints.
She's not ready just because she's camera shy, or why do you think that?
100%. So they haven't got their confidence yet. So, look, usually within the 8 weeks to the 5 months, their confidence is up. I mean, I do attract a lot of people who want to be public and they're extroverts. So if anything, those people need to be reined in a little bit, because they're just all over the shop. But then I've got the introverts, and they just need a little bit more nurturing, a little bit more confidence. And I teach privacy and reputation management and how to deal with trolls, and how to block and ban people and report things. So when they have all those confidence and those skill sets, those introverts then have the confidence to go, okay, now we'll take it to the next level and do that.
So you see, from all these things, what stuck in my mind. So you're not just a Facebook guy, Facebook person. You're a business coach, you're a life coach. You have to be all these things. And I think, when you do something like that, when you do your job well, and when you actually care about the customer, I think you have to go through all these phases, because otherwise probably it's not going to work.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think it's, when you genuinely care about the people that you're actually working with. And I think that that's important. And what's really cool is I always get really good clients, because straight away they see the type of person I am, and they go, well, I either love this or I hate this, and that's okay.
That's your funnel there, just send the people that don't like your way, and that's still the one that like you.
Yeah, 100%. Because it needs to be fun for me too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you've got 57 people you work with, then you obviously enjoy what you're doing, and you obviously have a skill set that makes that work. But you're clearly putting across what you want to quite clearly in what you do. So what do you do? Paid ads yourself? I mean, I'm going to ask you. Do you do everything organic? I mean, how do you market yourself?
Organically. So I've been doing this for 5 years now, and we haven't done paid advertising. At the moment, we do have an agency, and we're actually experimenting with a bot, because I do believe that, email, people don't open the emails as much as they used to.
Yeah.
So I've got my own little bot, and I've called it Andy. And at the moment, we're just putting together sort of a messenger bot thread, because I believe that if I can get that going, and I'm happy to throw my money at it and test it, because as I said, many of the business owners I work with don't have the resources to be able to play and test things like I do. So I'm testing it at the moment, because if I can get this bot working, which I'm really excited about, this could possibly be a low advertising spend way to get business owners in, to then take them on and run their little challenges or get the little offers in. So what are you pointing?
My main skill, or my main niche, is actually chatbots, so that's why he's
there we go. You see.
I mean, we did. We were looking at this. I met Adrian literally through that at a business show, sort of September last year, and it was literally he was doing chatbots and bits and pieces like that and getting engagement. It works, as I said. We use it in a very, very low, simple level, and we are in talks with people to put that in place for people's websites and link it up to their Facebook. It's a great way of getting engagement. It really is. It works very, very well. So yeah, it will work well for you. You just got to get it working and have a little tweak. We played about the couple of different things, didn't work initially, but we got it. Works very, very well now. And as you said, engagement-wise, it's a very low-end way of getting engagement straight away and having that conversation. You don't feel like you're talking to a bot, which is why they work well. We're all used to messenger systems and text systems and things these days, aren't we?
Yeah. Look, it all does, you said it yourself. It depends if it's done well. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been harassed by a bot before. There is nothing worse than getting harassed by a bot.
Well, you can't really anymore now. That's the beauty of it anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it is getting better, because obviously people are getting more skilled at it as well. And you can obviously opt out now.
Or but Facebook gets more greedy usually, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think that will happen too. I always say as well that, don't put all your eggs in Facebook. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, don't rely on everything in Facebook. I remember when a lot of the hairdressers and beauticians were all using the Facebook's appointment setting, and then Facebook went down for 3 hours, and they had no idea what client was coming into their shop, or, if they had a foil coming or a perm, or they had no idea.
Right.
And I always say to everyone, Facebook, use Facebook to capture your audience, but you've got to capture them off Facebook as well. Get them the hell off Facebook, because you don't want to keep all your eggs in one basket. And we had, I've had one of my clients who gets great results organically, but she does do a couple of ads because she's got a product. And she just had her account taken down for no reason, and they've just suspended it.
Right.
So you have to have an organic backup plan anyway. And you've got to be able to have their email address of prospects in case something like that does happen, so you can continue to nurture those people in some way.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we do with the chatbot now. So we have the data about everyone that came into the chatbot, and we save it over there. And yeah, usually with the chatbots, how they are being done now, you can capture email addresses, telephone numbers, and all those kind of things. And on different platforms, you can even send messages and emails straight away from the platform outside of Facebook, just to not depend on that. Yeah, so it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it works very, very well, and it's this year was supposed to be the big growth for chatbots and that sort of marketing. I think there's been there has definitely been a growth, but I think there's things that have happened over the last sort of 6 months that have slowed that down. I think next year is probably going to be the big boom. In fact, I think it's already starting to happen. You're looking at it. Plenty of other people are looking at it. It's become the norm for us to talk to people if we're doing insurance or even travel sites. So, so many different sites now have chatbots on them. I mean, domains. I mean, they're all bloody run by chatbots, aren't they? You know, if you're going to buy a domain, and if you're an entrepreneur, you probably bought a few of those in your time as well. Buying a domain, come up with a brand new idea. Let's buy a domain name, and then look at the business opportunity. I mean, so how many times are we talking about that? Because I've done it. I've over the years looked at so many different opportunities, bought domains, come up with this wild idea, which we all do, being creative. How many times do you get involved with somebody and actually realize that their direction is completely wrong in what they're doing, which is why they're not getting results?
Good question. It normally takes about 3 hours. 3 hours of working with somebody, and I'll extract it out of them. In South Africa, they have a whip. It's called a sjambak. And I always say, I'm just going to use my sjambak and I'll get it out of them. But really, it's just the process that I go through now, because I've seen it so many times. Like, I've worked with over 500 people over the last 5 years now worldwide. And it's just a process that I go through. And normally when they start fluffing and they go, oh, well, and they fluff around, I just know that there's something else inside there, and I just really have to get that out. So there's a series of questions that I take them through, and a couple of things that I ask them, and then we start to go on that direction. There's been an odd occasion that, you know, suddenly on the last session, sort of over, if it's an 8-week and it's on the last session of the 8-week, I suddenly just come up with another funnel, you know, another strategy at the end of that 8 weeks, along with the one that we had.
Does that mean you get another 8 weeks out of them, yeah?
No, I'll just give them that. But if they want hand-holding.
This amazing idea for you.
No, they walk away with it. So whatever I come up with, they get. They'll get it, and I'll go. And it's because the business owner didn't value that about themselves or their business or their product. They didn't see it as something special, but having worked with them over that time, trying to refine what it is that they're doing and what they're offering and the language that they're using, because I'm monitoring them on Facebook as well. Yeah. Suddenly it comes to my attention. I'll go, well, what is that? What is that? What is that? And I'll go, oh my gosh, there we go. That's actually something you didn't even see. And it actually happened with a pesticide company that I was working with, you know, they were just talking about pesticides and, you know, poison doing the house and whatever. And at the end of it, we actually came up with the fact that, you know, termites, they've got to treat them now, but then they need to treat them like a year later. So, and it's a massive amount of money. However, if we put them onto a subscription where they were paying monthly up until the end, and all we did was price present differently. Yeah. And that helped to differentiate their customer journey and optimize it. So, you know, just coming up with things like that. So they paid a subscription. If they paid the subscription, it'd work out cheaper. And they would basically not have to worry about phoning. They can literally just have it booked like as a reoccurring thing. So
that's quite an interesting approach as well. I'm assuming you had to sort of point out, I'm assuming, assumption is the mother of all fuck ups, but I'm assuming you had to sort of almost point out that a lot of people probably book that first one and then don't do the follow up, so that they then cause you problems. So it's actually preventative that you're doing, and that makes it even more important to have that spread over, and then they know that you're automatically going to be coming in and doing the second treatment or whatever it is for termites. That's clever. That's a clever way of looking at things. But when you're in a business yourself, sometimes you don't see those things, do you? It's much easier for you to see it. You know, we'll talk to people. I will on my side, Adrian will, and we will together, and we'll have a conversation. And it's glaringly obvious to us, but that person's so wrapped up in their business, as we do it ourselves at times. You know, I'm sure you have at times as well, although you might not want to admit it on air. But we do. We get wrapped up in things and we don't see it. You've almost got to take a step back, get away from everything that you're doing. I've done it recently. Go for a drive and had these bloody eureka moments because I've spent 3 hours where I probably should have been in here, and I've gone out and just done something different. And it does allow you to do that because you don't always have something to bounce off. I think with you sound like a worthwhile person to have around to bounce ideas off and bring out the necessary things that you're going to, the skills that you need to put forward to help your business to grow. I do like the way you come across and what you're saying. I mean, Adrian, what do you think to Chantal's approach? It's very similar to the way we look at things, but it's fresh, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, it is. Well, first of all, many times, for example, I choose to work with very little amount of clients just because I know I can only work with them with so many and dedicate my full time. I suppose you do the same exactly. And sometimes you need to look outside. You're the person that usually comes up with ideas, and you try to help them and all this. And it's all good. I like this type of approach. Also I like. Well, actually, one of my question was, how many times did you refuse clients?
I was going to ask that.
And
Yeah.
why? Because I refused quite a few.
Yeah.
Recently.
I've had to fire a few clients. So when I bring them on, it's perfectly clear.
That's an interesting way to phrase it. But you you've ejected them, have you? Like, this does not work for me. See you later.
I point them in another direction. But if they're not open to change or to trying something new, which is very clear when I bring them on, it's very clear the type of person that I am, and there's going to be accountability between sessions. If I'd like this to be done by that time, and on our next appointment it's not there, and then they bitch, moan and complain, well, they're going to be out because they're just looking for a magic pill or for someone else to do it for them. So
for sure. And that happens a lot.
Yes, I think everything that Chantal says, we've been through all these phases, maybe even ourselves, but definitely with customers, and I completely can relate with everything what you say about them. That's why.
Yes, but not only that, with my clients, we actually put them into a private VIP mastermind group, and they get a weekly mastermind training with me. And that mastermind training that they have, so they're part of my tribe, and they're from everywhere, and they're actually in that group, and they get that training so that they can network and talk and kind of support each other, which is great. So I've got to be careful about who I bring into that. And set sort of guidelines. It's kind of like family, every now and then you'll have that annoying person in the family, but there has to be sort of similar values within that group so that they can support each other.
Yeah.
And then that particular weekly training is on all other aspects around Facebook to support your Facebook strategy. So whether or not it might be Google My Business or LinkedIn, or it might be a sales call, so it's everything else around supporting that Facebook strategy, and that's what we do on a weekly basis as well.
Yeah, well, I love it. And there's still people out there, Chantal, that literally say that Facebook isn't for them and it's not going to work for their business. And time again, I'll say, you need to embrace it. Don't, there's definitely a way of using it. Even if LinkedIn is going to be more your thing because of business to business, Facebook still has its place, and it will have its place for a very, very long time to come. I don't think anything's going to be taking its place for now. LinkedIn has, in a way, taken a bit of space, but I don't think it's taken it. It's just added to it. It's been there a long time. I mean, it's become the Facebook of business these days, and it's definitely going a lot more. There's a lot more spam and stuff on there than there ever was before. Yeah. But that's the modern world. We've just got to accept these things. But you've got to embrace Facebook. I mean, if you've got a business, whatever size it is, if you don't have a Facebook business page, you're mad, as far as I'm concerned. Because even if you attract one person, most of it's free on there. You don't have to pay. As you said, everything you pretty well do and all your clients is all organic. So you can do it. This is absolute proof you can get results. You've been doing 500 people in 5 years that you've worked with and using organic. I want to be talking to you after the show for sure. There's a few things I want to be chatting to you about. So on that note, where can people find you, Chantal?
So have a look at my name, because my website is my name. So www.chantalgerardy.com.au. And I'd encourage everyone to subscribe on the website, because we will send you through a nurture sequence where you will actually get an example of how that
nurture sequence
on how we it's an actual, there's a whole series of things where you will get content calendars and you'll get the funnel, so you'll see it's a video on how that actual funnel works. And so we'll send you things on the algorithm, like we send you heaps spread out over time, and you can unsubscribe when you like. But also, if we're running any free webinars, we recently did one yesterday on when are you ready for ads and how do you get ready for Facebook ads. So I'd encourage you to subscribe on that website so that you can keep in the loop with what's going on with Facebook, because it's ever changing, and we'll let you know. As soon as there's a change, we let you know.
Yeah. Well, you sound like you're at the forefront of what's going on there and working on it all the time. So you're going to know when there are changes coming up. You guys that are these sort of skillful Facebook people, you seem to find this information out before everybody else. I don't know where you get it from. Is it like beamed into you? Is it just you just get this information?
It's how much you use it. It's exactly how the algorithm works. So the more you're on it and the more you're engaging and whatever you're showing interest in is going to stimulate Facebook and let you know you're active. But in saying that, I'm not. A lot of people here in Australia seem to get a whole bunch of things happening before I do. Right. So I'm going to say I'm not at the forefront. For example, when Top Fan badges happened, when Messenger Kids happened, the new look Facebook, a lot of people got it before me, so I was a bit offended. But I had to go into other people's computers and just have a look and see what's going on. And then I always think about why is Facebook doing it? Because I'm telling you now, they don't do it for you, they do it for them. So
Definitely. For sure. Well, listen, there's going to be even more growth for the small business at the moment. There's definitely going to be a huge amount of support coming, as we know from releases of information from Facebook, and we've been talking about this on previous shows. There's going to be even more coming for the small and micro businesses, isn't there, for you to be able to sell your shops on there and everything. So it's some exciting times to come. There's, as you said, it's ever changing. I like that. I love innovation. I love things that are ever changing and new twists that we can put on things and new ideas and ways we can help to pivot. There we go. I'll put that in there. Well, listen, Chantal, thank you very much for your time. I hope the rain lasts as long as you want it to. That's been a diplomatic way of putting it, I suppose.
I think it's gone already.
1 minute, I suppose, yeah.
Gone already. No, I'm not happy. Well, it's miserable here, as it often is in the UK, but it's summertime and we're still smiling.
Right.
No, thanks very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Loads to be taken from that. I really love what you say. I definitely want to have a chat with you off air, and absolutely recommend that anybody checks out Chantal Gerardy. Gerardy, that's right, isn't it? And subscribe, because I think there's going to be loads of stuff in there that's going to help. We're going to be checking that out, aren't we, Adrian?
Definitely. We must, for us, it's always a must. So
yeah, definitely. Well, thanks very much again, and we look forward to catching up in your very, very near future. So for this evening, for this morning in sunny Australia, now that the rain has gone, we're going to sign off for now. But just before I do, if you've been listening to this as an audio podcast, then you need to get onto our Facebook, which is my Facebook, Elliot Brown, Adrian Dorobantu, or Essex Business Radio's Facebook page, live at 9 p.m. UK time, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, where Adrian and I are either chatting amongst ourselves or we have guests on, like the lovely Chantal, who are extraordinaires in their field, and here to help you guys level up doing what you're doing in your business professionally and personally. If you're watching this, of course, and you do want to listen, then the podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. And also, you can get the free app, which you can download, available at all good app stores. Talking, 1 second, we have somebody that's just quickly put a message here. Siobhan Ross, talk is one thing, action is another. Thank you very much for that. That profound.
Yeah, but they always have an order,
They do. Well, thanks again very much. Check us out on all social media, Essex Business Radio, apart from Twitter, which is Essex Biz, BIZZ Radio. Thank you, Chantal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adrian Dorobantu.
Thank you, Elliot, Chantal as well, and to our listeners and viewers. And
and thank you all for watching, listening, learning and laughing.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, so hello, Elliot's mom. Yeah, I know she wasn't here tonight, but...
But you thought you said hello to her anyway, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. We're going to say hello.
Always shows up on the show. Yeah. In fact, I want to get her on the show because it will be hilarious. Like these comedians now get their mums to do these tours. Yeah, I should do that with my mum. She'd probably get a bigger fan base than we've got, to be fair. Listen, thank you very much again, and we'll catch up with you soon. So I'm going to say ciao for now.
Brown cow.
Hey.
See ya.